I want to welcome you back to Black Site, and tonight I want to talk to you again about the $3 trillion stimulus package called the HEROES Act because I have more information from reading the bill. So let's get started. We know there's going to be a cash payout of $1,200 per person. If you have a family of four, that will be $4,800. You have an adjusted gross income of $75,000. What's also added in this bill is that the disabled, college students, and elderly will also receive the $1,200 payment. Secondly, let's get to extended unemployment, something I read within the bill. They will push that to January of 2021. That means you will get that extra $600, whatever you were getting in unemployment from your state. So say you were in New York State, you get 400 to 600, you'll be getting $1,000 a week, which is good. Something else they put in this bill, a 15% increase in SNAP benefits. So that's huge. You get more money so you can buy more food and perishables that you may need during this crisis. Also, you remember I talked about $1 trillion for the state. There's plenty of money for localities, especially small cities and villages and towns who are short because of the coronavirus and bringing in tax revenue, and a lot of them are in deficit spending right now. There's another $10 billion for small businesses within this bill, which is huge because we know that small businesses have been affected really bad during this crisis. A lot of them won't make it back. I would say maybe 25 to 30% will never come back. So maybe this bill can help them get through these rough patches until everything opens back up. This is another huge one, $100 billion for rental assistance. There's a lot of people across the country who don't have the money to pay their rent because, say, if you're in New York, you're only bringing in $800-900 a week when you were used to bringing in maybe $1,500 to $2,000 a week, and you know how expensive in major cities rent costs are. This will be huge in helping people get by until the economy can get back rolling again in America. You got another $75 billion in mortgage payments. That means you can get mortgage assistance. Those who have been falling behind in payments, you know, a lot of people could be 1, 2, 3 months behind because they couldn't cover their mortgage. This assistance will help them get back on track with their mortgage and be able to keep their houses, because we don't want people to lose their houses like that happened in the 2008 financial crisis. There is also another $75 billion for virus testing. That means basically at every location you probably can get a test at your local CVS, Walgreens, or any other place within the area. So if you want to go to a community center in your locale, you can get a test, which is extremely good. And the thing about that is that we won't have people walking around asymptomatic. Whenever you feel like it, you can get that test because the money will be there. Another $100 billion will go to hospitals. A lot of hospitals are falling short in revenue because a lot of the governors across the state basically shut down the hospitals, which means there were no elective surgeries. You know, most hospitals make millions of dollars off elective surgery. There were no heart surgeries. There were no cancer treatments. None of that basically was going on throughout the COVID-19 virus. So a lot of hospitals had to shut down and lay off and put on furlough a lot of nurses and administration because they were not bringing in the money which is necessary to run that hospital. So this $100 billion payment will help hospitals get through this crisis. There is another $200 billion of hazard pay within this bill, which is good. This will go to nurses. It will go to people like who work at your local grocery store, the cashier, the stock person, the manager, all those people who work during this period of time, during the crisis, who some of them end up catching the virus, but some of them who kept America going. This proposal was first led by Mitt Romney, Republican in the Senate, and Nancy Pelosi put this in the bill to help out people who have been working through this crisis. Also, student loan cancellation. They were talking about maybe several million people getting that, or reduce student loans to help people get through that process and not having to pay so much for a student loan. Because think about it, student loans is one of the biggest problems in America. It's a huge another debt crisis that we're dealing with, and most people can't get on their feet in America because they have this huge debt, this huge payment at the end of the month. And the Heroes Act will help take care of this bill. But finally, I want to get to this part. It's going to be extremely difficult for this bill to get through. We know that Nancy Pelosi says she's going to pass it on Friday, which is good if you support the bill, but it goes to the Senate. Mitch McConnell has had trepidations, like I told you earlier, about this bill. He's basically saying that he won't pass the bill. He wants to see how the economy is going. But I think it's possible that they may end up working on something. Maybe the bill won't be $3 trillion, it probably goes down to $2 trillion, and they'll work something out that will help the American people. But what's going to happen, he's not going to go with parts of the bill that's going to bail out basically the big cities and the big states, what we would call blue states. Like I told you earlier, New York, Illinois, New Jersey, California, these states that has always run deficits, huge deficits, and they're not as run as good as red states like Texas, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Louisiana. So that's not going to work. But this bill has some good parts about it. Like I said earlier, it has some bad parts about it. We'll see more what comes out of this bill later on. But I want to keep you updated on the information I try to get out of this 1,800-page bill. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site. I hope you subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, and share this video.